Good Friday morning, y'all. I'm going to include a couple of clips that may sound like I'm gloating or happy, but I thought about it overnight and I'm not. I actually feel sorry for those misguided people that thought 2670 wasn't enough money and they should be getting paid much more. And also, they're, excuse me, still drinking coffee and trying to get woke up. They thought they should be paid extra for working through COVID. When all these other companies closed down, they were able to continue working and they were demanding that the company pay them extra. Well, my wife and I, when we drove past this group of striking people, we noticed that all the cars that were there were very, very expensive cars. There was even a Bentley there, a Bentley. Mercedes and Escalades, and some people had very expensive campers there while they were striking. And then the fights broke out when the company decided to hire new people to replace them. They started fighting the people, the new hires, trying to get into the plant. So the cops had to stay there round the clock. And I think the United Auto Workers do not care about their their members. The union, the United Auto Workers Union. They don't care about their members. What they saw was an opportunity to make a few more bucks, and they put the bug in the ear of these poor people and convinced them that if they went on strike, they'd get more money. UAW, they don't care. There's 85 more people that are going to take their place. So 85 poor souls lost their job for listening to the United Auto Workers Union encouraging them to go on strike. And now all those expensive campers and boats and Escalades, they're all going back to the dealers. Because without that big, big money they were making, I added it up with overtime, and that was their complaint, overtime. They didn't want to work overtime. They were making $400 a day. $400 a day. I'm amazed. And now those 85 people that were fired they'll never find anything that pays. There's nothing that pays that well around here. So they did the same thing to General Motors over in Shreveport. It was a booming place. And they striked and striked and striked and striked until General Motors just pulled out of here, closed it down, and it's been empty for 20 years. And all those GM workers, those United Auto Worker Union members who had homes and, cars, they're all gone. Houses got repossessed, cars got repossessed. There was nothing in this area that paid well enough to replace that income that they lost from all the striking. So, with that said, I'm going to include a couple of clips, and I'm going to tell you about the ride my wife and I are going to take today. It's going to be a nice ride. A little chilly to start off, because when we woke up, how cold was it this morning, hon?
It was 49, and I ain't getting on that bike
Yeah,
till
49.
warms up.
So we're going to take Highway 154 off the loop around Marshall, Texas. It's the northwest side of Loop. I think it's 390 that goes around Marshall, Texas. 154. Nice road. I went to Longview yesterday on my motorcycle and had some work done. Okay, I had the oil changed. I let somebody else change the oil on my bike. And here's the reason. I cannot, everything is on the bottom of my motorcycle, all the drains, and I can't get on the ground and stay on the ground, or else I can't walk for a couple of days. I don't know why that affects me so badly. And when I jack it up high enough for me to do anything, the jack is right there where all the drain holes are. So unless I find one of them tables that you drive up on and then you raise up, I'm going to let them do it's called a 3-hole oil change, and it only cost me $200, and that's with their Harley synthetic oil, and so it was worth it. Plus they washed my bike, and that was a nice surprise. So I drove back. I went from Longview up to Diana, Texas, and then drove back on 154. And what a nice little road. I like that road. So we're going to take 154 out to Quitman, Texas, and then take 37 down to Mineola. And when we get to Mineola, we'll decide whether we want to take Highway 80 back or go all the way down to the interstate and come back because, you know, we have our children's. We don't want to leave them alone for too long. God, these poor mistreated dogs. Let me cover you back up, you big baby. Okay, have a good day, y'all. We're gonna be riding. Well, I rode past the company whose workforce went on strike this morning. And there was only 4 people out there waving their unfair signs, and they all had their bottom lips pooched out. They did not look like happy little campers. And I went past them to the post office, which is right next door to them, and I mentioned to the postal worker there that usually there's 50 or 60 people out there, and now there's only 3 or 4, and they look very unhappy. She goes, yeah, they ought to be very unhappy. The company fired all them strikers and hired 85 new people. So, then people who had a great job at incredible wages, higher than most anywhere around here isn't paying, with good health benefits and retirement, those people striked themselves out of a good paying job. And now 85 new people have a job that they'll appreciate. And there you go, United Auto Workers Union. You have screwed more people out of work by convincing them to strike. Okay, I just found a whole bunch more information out about that company that was on strike. Those guys, those employees were making $26.70 an hour, plus, you know, really good health benefits and retirement, union benefits and retirement. $26.70 an hour. And what they were striking over was too much overtime and holiday pay. They didn't want to work holidays and they didn't want to work overtime. And they were striking to not work overtime. I just am blown away. When I was a young man, I would work every minute of overtime they gave me. Unbelievable. $26.70 at time and a half, or on holiday, double time. You're making some dough.